guys, we're back with another episode of Ask a Pro 479, and we have our good buddy here, Arthur Green, with the print company. How are you?
Good, man.
So he actually printed these T-shirts. He's done our pins. He's done business cards. What else have you done for us?
I got some bags coming.
Got some bags coming.
Yep.
So we've used him for pretty much everything to start our business as far as branding goes, and collateral for our clients. And we actually just got a big box today of T-shirts. So if you want to come grab a T-shirt, come by and grab a T-shirt. Doesn't cost you nothing.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We're handing them out. Arthur's never heard that one. People give me one of those
Yeah,
T-shirts.
that's good.
These are nice quality T-shirts. Our last 50, we got rid of those in
A couple weeks.
it would have been like 2 weeks or so.
Yeah.
So they went really quick. Everybody's happy to have one. I've seen people that didn't even know where they got the T-shirt from, sporting our T-shirts. So I really appreciate
That's
that.
cool, man. You're welcome.
Good quality stuff. So we want to talk a little bit about your background, where you come from. You got a pretty interesting story. So tell folks where you were born and kind of lead up to where you are today.
So I was born in the Philippines, and my dad was a military guy. So we came back to America, the U.S., and I grew up in Van Buren for the most part. Grew up a Pointer, graduated a Pointer, and then I went to college for about a year and a half. It really wasn't for me.
Yeah.
So I just always, naturally I'm a painter.
Yeah.
I draw, I'm an illustrator, and so I was kind of curious how I would use my gift. I was going to school to be an architect. That was my major.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved the whole thing. I mean, I loved the idea of being an architect, but there were just some things about college that I just couldn't get past, and I really wanted to play music professionally.
Yeah.
So when I quit college, I went on to play music professionally.
Really? What can you play?
I play bass in a metal band called Living Sacrifice. That is the band that I play for, and it's still together. The band has been together for 30 years.
Wow.
So
That's awesome.
yeah.
So, and we were talking a little bit before we started shooting. 1993. It's about the time you left school.
Yeah.
Starting a business, not graduating school. That was a big no-no. Like you were almost you were a failure if you didn't graduate college, let alone join a band in the 90s.
Yeah.
Based on the experiences and the conversation I've had with people, around your age. What did your parents say when you said, "I'm not going to go to school anymore. I'm going to join a band"?
I can't remember exactly. They just weren't happy about it. Their vision for me was first of all to be an artist and use my talent, and becoming an architect made them happy. That was a good thing for them. But when they knew that I was going to quit college, they weren't happy, and when they knew I was going to be in a band, they really weren't happy.
Yeah.
I mean, they were just like, they just thought I was wasting my time.
Did they get back to their native language and encourage you?
Yeah. No.
I bet that was a tough conversation. So
It was.
you get into that band. How old were you at that time? Living Sacrifice.
So there was a few bands before that, but I'm probably, like 18, 19 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And when did you're doing Living Sacrifice? At what point do you transition to say, "Hey, look, this printing thing isn't too bad. I think I want to get into that field"?
So Living Sacrifice was a full-time touring band for a while, but I knew it wouldn't be forever. So a guy handed me a book called "Who Stole the American Dream."
Okay.
I didn't know anything about entrepreneurship or nothing,
Yeah.
and so it didn't. It kind of vaguely crossed my mind about owning a business or being more than just a cook at a restaurant, which is what I was doing. I was cooking if I'd come back into town from being on tour, I'd cook, and then I went to managing that restaurant.
Okay.
But so I read this book, and it was just so intriguing. I read it in a day, and it just changed my whole my outlook on business and being a work, my 9 to 5, and kind of like when it says "Who Stole the American Dream," it just really changed how I looked at my life, and so I just wanted to start. I started exploring the entrepreneur in me, and so anyways, later on down the road, I think it was like 2001. I started dabbling into what am I going to do after the band quits, and so I was just trying to figure things out. And so I thought, I'm an artist, and I love the band world. So what about printing shirts? I just started kind of getting into that. I knew nothing about printing shirts. And so I lost a bit of money on the front end, but I didn't have anything to, so I started my business with zero. Like, I had $100 to start my business with.
Wow.
Which is it's crazy. I had no idea what I was doing. I made a couple phone calls to vendors. I was like, can I get some credit, some terms, things like that. Just trying to get it off the ground. And luckily I was able to do that and, turn my business into a very, I make a good living off of it now. And I had made a good living in my first year, even though I'd lost money. My first year of being in business for myself in a print business, at the time it was called Lucky Star Design and Media. I did well. I was doing pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. And you were still early 20s at that time?
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. So he turned a passion of his, which was, music. And, any band, anybody who knows music, if you guys know Kanye West. So we talked a little bit about the Yeezy brand. I mean, now he's, turned into more of a gospel figure, but he's got his brand is worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and it all started with basically holy clothes that you look homeless in. And it was that was his merch, but now it's almost $100+ million brand. So you kind of had that idea early. Hey, why don't just these little guys? I could just print your T-shirts for you, even for my band. We need merch. You printed T-shirts for your band as well, so that made a lot of sense.
Yeah, I've always looked up to guys like that. Like 50 Cent was, someone I really looked up to. I was like, that dude is great at being an entrepreneur. Like,
smart.
Just taking the game of music and going much further than what that whole thing.
So that guy put out a relevant song in a decade, and he's
making movies.
Yeah, making awesome music. I mean, he had a sneaker at one time. Whatever. I remember the G Unit tank tops that he used to have. So
he was an owner in Vitamin Water, which is really cool.
Yep, Vitamin Water. I forgot all about that.
Yeah,
makes sense. So transition a little bit from the band industry, being a cook, and now you're getting to full time into the printing industry. How did that, being full time, how was that transition for you, being a full time entrepreneur in early to mid 20s?
A lot of work. I mean, being a business owner is not easy. I mean, especially in the beginning stages, and when you care about your business, you're usually working 100 hours a week. And a lot of people don't know. They see the glamorous parts of it, like the fact that you might be on a vacation that you've worked for. But man, behind the scenes, it's day and night work. I mean, especially being a designer, I care a lot about how that turns out. And so, I might be up working, till 2 o'clock in the morning. And that's can be very common. So
and the artist in you won't allow a third party. Who you have to leverage that, because you can't print everything. You can't do everything alone.
Right.
Obviously, you have to get third party inventory. So at the same time, that artist in you won't allow, may not have allowed somebody else to do that work for you and give you, and expect that they can give you the end result that you needed. How hard was it to go from full-time 100 hours a week doing everything to then now leveraging to someone else and say, hey, look, you give me this result? How hard was it for you to?
It's definitely difficult, because you have to find the right people, the people that care about their work. Because if they care about their work, then they're going to care about what goes out the door. And so it's just it's time and trying to putting the effort out there to make sure you have the right people in place. But the freedom that it gives you, because you can't. One thing that you can't really buy back is time. So time is so important to me.
Yeah, for sure. And you got family, you got kids, you got a wife, so spending that time with family. I'm learning that as a young entrepreneur too. Like, I can't do everything.
Right.
Sometimes I'm like, I'm leveraging to somebody else on my team, and I'm like biting my fingers. I want to jump in so bad, but you can't. You gotta learn to let go. At what point in your business, how old were you, and how long were you in the business before you said, look, I'm gonna try to leverage a little bit and kind of be the manager, the owner, and not the employee working 100 hours a week in my business?
Maybe about 6 or 7. It took me like 6 or 7 years in before I figured that out.
So almost 30 years old. You almost been a decade in the business, and you just started.
Before, and even still, like I still, kind of struggle with that, like letting go of things, like certain aspects of a job, a project, to make sure that it gets done right. And so, it's always difficult, you know, because you want your brand. So I'm looking out for your brand too.
Yeah.
I'm having to look out for your brand. So,
Yeah.
there is a lot of importance that goes in that for me.
Yeah, makes sense. So now fast forward a little bit, and we want to talk a little bit about the details of your business. What exactly can you print, and what kind of services do you provide?
So I offer T-shirt printing, embroidery, promotional products from pins to coffee mugs, and just anything you can think of that your company uses as giveaways or selling retail. So and I also have transitioned a lot into actual branding and marketing. So some companies will call me to kind of take their company and go, what could make our company better? And it's not just a printed good. It might be like, we need to switch out these plates with these plates. If this is the direction, this is your target market, we need to look at that. So there's a lot more to. I'm trying to use my actual talent that I love and my passion for design, and because it's not that I don't love printing. It's weird. I've been doing this for a long time. It's like I always ask myself, because being in business and an entrepreneur for yourself, you think, maybe I should just go get a 9-to-5 job.
It gets to that point, and he's not the only one. Me too. I've had those moments too.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's a lot of time. So doing the things that you're passionate about gives you that longevity. It keeps you going.
Yeah.
Because printing isn't really your passion.
Right.
Your passion is the design, the art behind it. Seeing something that you put your twist on, and it actually works for somebody else. So I think that's.
You see people wearing it or drinking out of it. It's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So here today, how can people get in contact with you, and how can you, what kind of, value do you think you could bring to someone's business today?
So, you can contact me through Instagram or Facebook or my email. It's the Print Company AR on Facebook, and that's usually how people contact me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Awesome. And so, and I would say for myself, actually, I won't even have him. I'll allow him to be modest. The thing that he's done for me is he actually printed not just a T-shirt, but he gave me a product that I can give to my clients and that they can carry with them forever. So I think that's so big for branding. A lot of people think, it's got to be social media and it's got to be, the tech age. But giving somebody a T-shirt, giving somebody a pen, these things carry on forever. How many times have you gone in your car and you reach in the console for a pen, and it's a pen from a place you haven't been for 5 years,
Yeah. It's free marketing for you.
Yeah, it's free marketing. So it just makes sense. Investing in your brand isn't always doing things like social media or of course you want to shake somebody's hand, but also saying, hey, look, here goes a pen. Take this with you as a gift.
Yeah.
So that's what I've used our T-shirts for. I'll give it to clients. I wear it myself almost every day. The past 4 interviews, I've had my T-shirt on, and it's just brand recognition. So I think that's awesome. So yeah, get in contact with them. Instagram and Facebook. We'll tag his pages on there. Thanks for tuning into another episode. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate you so much. And like I said, if you guys want a T-shirt, you want some collateral, come get one. Come get you a T-shirt, free of charge. Not gonna charge you anything, so come get one. See you guys next time.